One of the things that comes up, I'm sure, in a lot of different towns is having to do with group homes. Mm-hmm. So how does DDS or your providers decide where is the best place to put a group home? And how do you work with the community to make that happen? In that, a lot of people are very much, heartfelt about, people who have these needs for a group home, but there's a little bit of not in my backyard that occurs with people. So can you tell me how that process works from start to finish in a nutshell?
Well, I wish I could say that we're building a lot of new state homes or group homes, and so I'm dealing with that problem on an everyday basis, but we're not at the moment since we don't have a lot of money. The homes that we do have been, most of them have existed for quite some time. A lot of them are homes that the department has purchased or individuals have leased. There would be a home that you could pass in your neighborhood and never know that it was a group home, for example. So in terms of siting group homes, there are certain regulations that the department has to follow in terms of notification of emergency personnel within that particular municipality. Other than that, there isn't a lot of things that we need to do in order to site a group home.
Do you have a process by which, if you had the funds to start developing some more group homes, that you do an outreach into the community to educate people and acclimate them to this process?
The outreach that we do is to the municipal authorities that might have to respond to either a fire, emergency, or anything like that at the home. Just as someone who might move into a community with a family member with, extreme oxygen needs or some other medical condition that would require additional assistance in the event of an emergency. So we do have very good relationships with municipal authorities. We do notify police, fire personnel, other emergency responders. But in terms of a process of educating the community, we really do not have a formalized process for that. To do so would be to stigmatize those individuals, and we don't believe that that is something that's necessary. We haven't had that issue arise, frankly, in terms of homes for individuals with disabilities. If anything, we've had very, very positive experiences with individuals living in group homes in communities and making communities richer for being a part of that community.
Southbury Training School, I know that there is the expectation by the I think it's IDD caucus to have that school closed down, I think, by 2020. What are your thoughts and ambitions as far as being able to make that occur?
So I can't answer that as an individual person. As the commissioner of DDS, I'm a facilitator of a process of reaching an agreement regarding that would satisfy all parties. So right now, Southbury Training School is under a settlement agreement that does not require it to close. And there has been a report from the court-appointed remedial specialist, Tony Records, that has made a recommendation that it close within 5 years. So I can't think, to be honest, of a more complex situation that we're facing as a state. Well, there's probably a lot more, but in my world, than Southbury Training School and what we're doing with it. There are people there. I see both sides of it, and I see them very clearly. If I had a loved one that was on the waiting list for DDS and did not have a residential placement, I would be very upset that there are people at Southbury that continue to enjoy the living conditions and advantages that they do. And on the other hand of that equation, if I were the loved one or a guardian of someone who had been at Southbury for 60 years, I would probably be very upset at the idea that someone might try to, quote unquote, force me to move my loved one into the community away from everything that they've known.